it's only temporary if we wanted to. It's a permanent installation with, footings and concrete and all that, so it is in the ground, it's not, just sitting there. But if we wanted to go back and pull it up, and take it apart and pull it up, we could.
What would you do with it then?
If we had another playground that we could move it to, at that time, I would. Or it could be that we move it over to the Beckham's property and then do both sides as an all-surface, all-access playground. I don't know, that's the thing that we would have to look and decide.
Well, if you're gonna do that, there's no need to move it that to there and put another one here.
Well, it would be if you wanted to do one section over here and then another section over there, and you wanted to maybe connect them.
Well, it sounds rather piecemeal to me, and it's
Um,
not, the chances of matching it up with, the larger installation is not there.
Actually, we'll leave it because he has agreed to reface, re-stain the old one to match the new one. And they're both that redwood cedar with, I don't know what the secondary colors are, but, it's the same material with the same color.
Who's doing this?
Swings and billards, et cetera. The one up there on 34 across from the water tower.
You?
And he's got it in his warehouse. And he said he could have it installed within about 2 weeks.
I'm not real hot on it.
If we wanna regrade the area where the existing playgrounds are, which you've mentioned, which would be because it's kind of sloped towards the detention pond, is that the idea of regrading it?
So, no, sir, the only place that we'd have to regrade is where it drops off in that back corner. Where this is going would not need to be regraded. And in fact, that's part of the reason that it fits so well, is it drops right into that space that's open. And he's gonna be able to rearrange it to where it fits the space better than just, randomly stuck out there. It certainly won't be piecemeal, and it should be all tied in. I mean, we don't have any swings out there. We've got a slide, and we've got the little climbing thing, and we've got a couple of tunnels, but that's it for now. And while I do want to expand and add a nice fancier playground with the soft stuff on the ground, we're just not there. And I just don't want it to be empty for all this time until we do decide to do something.
Well, I'd rather wait and have it vacant, or have it not used for another few months than to do it and have to figure out how to make it work.
Right.
If we can do that.
Right.
I'd rather wait.
Yeah, but see, my fear is that we're gonna be waiting, if not just months, but years to do that, because redoing the playground project, it's gonna be a big one, and we have trouble doing small projects now. We'll pull off a big one.
I don't think we'd have trouble doing it. You got the winter coming up that you can plan for it and do it in the spring, if you can line up a vendor who could do it. And not have playground material that you may not even be able to use.
We're gonna be able, what do you mean? We're gonna be able to use that, I don't know what we wouldn't use.
Maybe it doesn't fit with whatever else you got, whatever else you could buy that, of a more well thought out deal. It just seems so iffy.
It's not iffy, he's got it in his warehouse, he'll put it up in the next couple of weeks. I'd rather do this than sit back and wait, because I'm afraid if we don't do this, I don't know how long it'll sit.
I don't share that fear. I think when we decide we're gonna move on something, we move.
I think it's a great opportunity, keeps the money in the county, gives our kids something to do, and it's gonna look good out there.
Well, I'll make the motion, we go with it.
All right, so we have a second. Any seconds? Motion fails for passage of lack of a second. Next item on the business is table and chairs. Floyd, I'll let you go ahead and talk about the, tables and whatnot.
Yeah, there isn't a decision necessarily to be made on this, just an update. At the last meeting, we had a resolution to surplus these tables and chairs. That's the second time it's come up today. Since then, we delayed a little bit, only because we had a book fair and we needed to utilize what we had for that book fair. Since the book fair is done, we've gone out looking for potential takers of the chairs and the tables. So far, not really a lot of buy-in on that. And in fact, today we had Coweta Fairgrounds who came out and took a look and took pictures, and they're trying to get the word out as well. So our first approach is to be able to clear this room and have a real set time of when this room is gonna clear out. And then secondly, have tables and chairs brought in. So that's the other part of this. At the last meeting when this was discussed, there was real question about how much tables and chairs, and what I provided was just sort of a snapshot. The ranges are everywhere on these tables and chairs. But I think what I've found is, we can get 16 tables. They would, come from Sam's. The 16 tables are white, potentially black. They come in some colors and some are sold out, but, white 8-foot long tables, rectangular. 16 of those would be a total of $2,000. 100 chairs, folding chairs, are an additional $3,000. So $2,000 for 16 tables, $3,000 for 100 chairs. That gets you right about where you are already. We have a budget of $6,500. It really is just a matter, we already have an approved budget for that amount. So it really is just a matter of making sure I've got everybody's agreement to purchase those whenever that time comes. And from that point, I've never been accused of being an interior decorator. So I don't know that all white looks good. I'm not sure what color would be best, but personally I'm leaning toward black tables and chairs. Anybody have any qualms about if we want black tables and chairs?
Are they heavy duty tables like these?
They're not heavy duty like this. They would be plastic and they'd be folding, which is actually what majority of the people that we deal with like.
What, did it, I don't see your 8-foot table on here exactly, but does it fold in the middle? Or
Sure.
is it a solid piece?
It is not. In fact, one of the things I wanted, Alex, was that it would not fold in the middle. There's a picture on the shoot now.
I mean, folding in the middle can be good, I think, for what we do here, it's probably gonna be annoying.
That, but I also think that these tables would be used for elections equipment. I don't want to fold it with elections and stuff.
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
These legs just fold up and you just stand up.
just fold them and stand them.
You wanna say, okay. White or black, price difference?
They're the same.
Negligible, right?
They're the same. So it's just a matter of preference. But that's really what we are. It's not really a matter of voting, just kind of letting you know that we're still working on it, but that's where we're leaning toward.
So we don't, you know, the rest of approve anything, you've already approved.
You've already approved about that. So, are you good, or is there any questions or questions about that?
Good, I would ask around about white or black, maybe ask some of the vendors that use the building.
We actually, looked at what Coweta Fairground uses, and theirs is an almond color. But every time I've looked, almond seems to be out of stock, so it's just a matter how quickly we can do that.
I would do black.
What's that?
I would suggest black.
Black, okay, black. Okay,
That'd be
but,
good.
yeah, but that's where we are. Is there any, other info you guys need? All right, cool.
Next item on the agenda is the library. I'll turn,
Well, now I have
Yes,
a
ma'am.
question about the
Oh,
tables.
go for it.
So, is the holdup you're trying to find a home for the current stuff?
For the current
Do we
stuff,
need to find a home?
we're actively looking, but
And
if
it's
you have
gotta be a free
contacts,
home,
we'd love to
right?
know.
It's gotta be a free home, right?
no, we surplus it, so if they wanna pay a little bit, it can
If
help.
they wanna
Like
pay,
$1 per table? I'm just- Well, I mean, they are heavy duty, but they're also not, they're not aesthetically pleasing, so it's like, who's gonna be busting the door to buy? That's part of the reason, so if I'll put some feelers out and we'll go to a couple places, but,
and that's exactly what
I
we're
don't
doing, is
see
throwing
you
feelers
getting-
out.
yeah.
I think they're aesthetically pleasing, I just think they're rigid.
Take
You
them
can't fold them
home.
up. We did on them for about 30 minutes, and we decided we didn't want to.
So Sharpsburg Library, Tom?
Okay,
Thank you, turn that over to y'all.
we've got some calls set up, calls set aside. What I propose is we pass a motion tonight to go ahead and finish the conversion, full conversion of the library. We've got a good base of prices, and it looks like, the way it's washed out, it's gonna cost us $10,665 to finish it. Now, there's another $2,000 in operations costs we have to pay the e-library vendor, which would offset the first year's use of the e-library system by whoever in the community decides to use that. So $10,666 for, doing the physical conversion, and another $2,000 for the e-library operations.
Do we have that, Tom, or is that your notes? Or it's just your notes? Okay.
I knocked it off before I could show that. I can get the various documents to Floyd, and he can go ahead and initiate the RFQs for it. And, if it turns out it's not enough, we can come back and address it. We can continue, or we can decide which of the remaining improvements we don't wanna make. If we overestimate it, then that's good. The exterior improvements come to about $4,000. That's, lights, some benches for the courtyard. The interior work comes to $6,100, that's $2,700 for seating for the children. A small desk and a writing table and a small desk for a chair for a librarian. We're gonna build a closet for cleaning supplies, add a floating vinyl floor, do some interior painting. Administrative additions come to $2,500, $500 for software and hardware to catalog and manage the flow of books in and out. This will be based on a barcode affixed to each book and one affixed to each library card. And that $500 would include a good barcode reader. The other $2,000 is the first period for the e-library system, first use period. And that would probably last us about a year. We talked about the ongoing cost of that would be. So, $12,665, we're done. Now, let me tell you what we did not include, and this is not really a gotcha, but it's, I need to voice it. We did not tie a security system into this. My thinking was that we're gonna have to do an improved security system for the town anyway, and you may as well do it when you do that route. You improve your security system down here. Painting and signs for handicap parking in an existing spot in front of the library. On Tarrantine, same thing, you're gonna have to do that anyway, regardless of our decision tonight. So, it should be covered by whatever project we have to put the handicap parking slots out here in the backyard, in the back. Due to ADA constraints, which we cannot meet, I cut the installation of an outside toilet out and an ADA, compliant sidewalk between them and the courtyard out. We could go ahead and ignore ADA and just put in a bathroom, and that would cost us about $6,000, but I don't think we ought to do that. If we do, you got a bathroom that's not ADA compliant, somebody's gonna find fault with that. So it's better not to have one of them go into the inside if we have to use the bathroom, and just work around that. If we find out that that ain't gonna work, we can readdress it. But right now, let's just, not pay the $6,000 for something that may not work. And that's it.
I think the quotes, I think y'all actually got double the quotes, I was telling, so I originally went and got 3 quotes for the library, and then we talked about which flooring to do the floating, and so then I went back to those same 3 companies, and they gave 3 quotes, so that way they were all very comparable. So I think Floyd said that all 6 were in there, but I don't know what y'all have in the packet, can you tell?
Right, so
I made it like a spreadsheet of the one that I wanted them to fill out.
So what we have, April, in council, we have 4 quotes for, audio and security. We have 6 quotes for flooring, although,
Great.
there are 3 of one version and 3 of another, essentially.
Well, the
And then
second,
we have the outdoor lighting with 2 quotes there.
okay,
That's what we have. And right, to April's point, we had a series of 3 quotes for library flooring, and then it was a redo, essentially, of each of those, and as a result, depending on how you look at it, we either have 3 or 6, but as
The secondary is the updated quote, so that they're all comparable to have a floating floor, because I brought the samples of the glue down versus the floating, and council opted to go with the floating, so the second quote is more comparable between the three same companies. Smith's Flooring is the least expensive of the three. I have used them personally 10 times. I'm a repeat customer. I know y'all don't always go with the least expensive, but that would not affect the quality. They are not local to Coweta. I think they're out of Columbus, and then the other two flooring companies are both out of Peachtree City, so not really local to Coweta either. So all three are not, so that shouldn't weigh, but I think that's about it.
Yeah, another thing, when you do the RFQ for the lighting outside, you need to make sure it's all on the same footing. Because I noticed that one of the quotes we got was for 4 poles in the courtyard. But we got the lot next door to us, and experience shows that, 4 poles aren't gonna do it. You have to jack that up.
Okay.
And we won't need a full RFQ for this. The total price, if we're doing it all with just one contractor, yeah, but the way it's broken out, we can do this just for the van. If we know which ones to do. Or
Okay, that's good.
which numbers right here to do.
A lot of this stuff can be done concurrently. The outside and inside can be done at the same time, so we could, in theory, we could have this done by the end of the year.
Before then? And technically, isn't there already 10,000 allocated to the library?
Yeah.
So how much more is it out of the budget?
Pardon me?
How much more is it out of the $10,000 budget?
600 and some.
Okay.
So what are you asking for?
So some of this is new,
600
that I'm hearing. We discussed about some of this in a work session, but some of these prices I haven't seen and heard. Really what was in your packet had to do with flooring in the library, the camera system, and outdoor lighting. Couple of things, we have an additional quote that's potentially coming for your cameras, that'll be coming tomorrow.
We're not doing cameras at the library, are we? Are we still doing cameras at the library? Okay,
That's part of it.
okay.
Also, we're looking at funding sources, discussions, library could be utilized with SPOS funds, camera with ARPA, outdoor lighting, I would say comes from general, so 3 different funding sources.
I think you could do SPOST out there, since it would be for.
Maybe, but it's such a small number, yeah, but I mean, it's neither here nor there, and it may be. Some of the other stuff that Tom brought up with respect, I've heard some of that in the work session, but I haven't even seen those numbers. And so, I'll be honest, I'm getting a little bit lost on where are we saying?
What's what, I'll get you the names of people you can send them a request for.
Okay,
This is Lewis.
No. If you guys have quotes lined up already, just go ahead and send them over there. Just go ahead and keep doing what y'all been doing. Don't give him a list of folks and then have him go chase it. No, you guys.
Okay,
keep
that's
doing
fine.
that.
yeah,
It's Lewis.
yeah, I don't mean to,
Okay, that's fine.
yeah, some of that stuff is brand new to me, so, so what I think I would like, from this is to have a decision made on getting at least the flooring going, utilizing SPOS funds. You have 6 or 3 quotes, however it may be. On a secondary note, we can start talking about cameras and videos. We have that other quote that's coming, so I think.
I don't know if they want cameras up at the library anymore. Are y'all still talking about doing cameras up
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, it's a
that's
children's
always-
library, so we want them.
Yeah, but it's not something that you could do, we could do it, I was thinking as soon as y'all decide what you're gonna do down here, just do it all together.
Well, cameras we can do secondly. I think first up, we're gonna be rebuilding the library. You still need the floor. So I think that probably the first thing you wanna do is at least get your flooring in, then we can start building from there. So that would be where I would think we should go, is get your floor approved. We can start getting that going, and then these others we can be addressed.
Well, we get the flooring going, and because of lead times, any kind of furniture you're gonna have to buy, go ahead and get it ordered. Get deposits paid on it, and get it ordered, because it's gonna lag. And meanwhile, we turn Lewis loose on, setting those lights up.
We wanna do the inside painting before we did the floor, so that way when we pull the floor up.
I would think you'd wanna do that last, you can always cover the floor. You know, you have a spray gun.
However, y'all's project, however you wanna do it.
Well, the point is, we can do a lot of it concurrently.
Right.
Okay.
So, do we wanna get a quote for the floor, or?
I'm wondering what we need a motion on to move it forward based on what Tom was presenting. I mean, what are you looking for?
Just tell me to go. You know,
All right,
the
go.
motion says, yeah, we wanna. We've got a budget of $12,000, $11,000 to do this.
Right, and that's what I'm asking.
Right.
The money's allocated, but we have to vote for each individual item, how it's gonna be spent, or, okay.
If you want to, fine, if not,
Well, because the only numbers we've been presented is for flooring, outdoor lighting, and security. So we can approve the flooring and the outdoor lighting right now, but the other stuff you're talking about, like interior painting and stuff, we don't have. I guess we'll have to wait till you get into quotes.
Well, the interior paint's gonna be volunteer, so it's gonna be
Okay,
brought
that's
us,
good.
yes.
But you had some other things as well, right?
we'll have some.
Building the
some
closet,
furniture,
stuff like that,
building the
so,
closet, things
yeah.
like that, yeah. I can get you a written.
So we can approve
overall.
that at the next,
I have a question for you guys. I heard something about what, a $10,000 budget for a library. Did I hear that number right?
Yeah, we generally have 10,000 in material and supplies for the library.
We've got 1,000 in, I'm not reading this right. Just wanna make sure I'm reading it right. As I'm reading it, we have 1,000 in this budget. That would be line item number 531101. Is literally supplies and materials for the library.
Oh, it's a 10,000.
That's why I'm thinking we need to utilize some of these other funds, SPOS, ARPA, et cetera.
Okay, that's cool, we'll go back and fix it. 2,000.
we could use the ARPA funds on this whole project, couldn't we?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, we could use SPOS funds, though.
Okay.
So, do we wanna get a quote on the flooring and the lights, so we can at least move forward or something?
I have one question on flooring, April, you seem to know as well. So, one of them is offering to demo the existing floor, are the other two offering to demo it in the quotes, and they left it out, or are they looking for a blank slate?
So technically, we chose the floating, and
So
the
we're just
carpet
going
that's up
over
there
the
is
existing.
not glued down really, so it's just gonna
Yeah.
pull right up. So only one of the three expressive wanted money to pull up the carpet. The other two were like, well, we're fine, we can just yank your carpet out, cause we're gonna go over the VCT that's in there.
Okay. I mean, I need some direction.
I'm
I make
pulling
a
it up so I can
motion-
look.
Marvin, I
I'm
need
pulling
some
it up.
direction on
I'm-
which company,
I'm
you know.
pulling it up.
No, you make the motion as to which, oh, you're saying you need some direction,
Okay,
how do
so-
you lump it?
Dalton West Flooring, their final price was, and all three of these are like the same product, all three of them.
Right,
Their Dalton West was $35.38.
yeah, I see that.
Okay, and then Expressive
Smith.
Flooring left it on their own, and they didn't put a total price on there.
Mhm.
I don't have my calculator on me, and then Smith's Flooring was $25.49.50.
So,
Private Expressive Flooring actually has, depending on what version of the quote you wanna pick, it will actually go anywhere from 3310,
43.
He didn't
42,
follow
or 43.
instructions.
Right, so it's like, pick your flavor off of that particular quote.
Well, I sent him the same RFQ that I sent the other two, and that's what they sent back, so, you know,
sure.
Dalton West is also in Kelly.
it's one in Peachtree City, it's not the new one, but there he is.
Jeff Seymour.
What do you think, Tom, as far as flooring goes? Do you have a preference to the vendor as far as what you've seen?
Expressive is over 4,000.
They're the cheapest.
Yeah,
Expressive is over 4,000 after you add their stuff together. They really kinda nickel and dime it a little bit, but.
One of them was 26 something,
2530. That would be Smith's Flooring Company.
so that was the one that you had worked with before?
It's 1 year, workmanship warranty and 50 years on the product. As far as, you know, any, material defects and things like that.
That's where I go.
We're gonna quote one or quote two on Smith Flooring,
quote two,
25, 30.
yes.
Okay, so, motion for.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept, Smith's flooring quote 2 for the floor in the library.
Did you second? Alright, so we have first and second, all in
And
favor?
can we, amend it so that we utilize SPOS funds off of this?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept the utilizing SPOS fund. Good point.
Got a first, got a second, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Do we wanna go to the, outdoor lights?
Was there a problem with that, you said, Tom, we need taller poles, or we can take these quotes how they're written?
Well, it looks like they're for the courtyard only, and inadequate support for the lights. So if you wanna, let's do an RFQ like we talked about, we detail exactly what you want, and let them all quote on that. Lewis has quoted on what I showed you, which is apparently more extensive than what y'all gotten so far.
I can type up the same RFQ like I did for the flooring people and give it to the lighting people for next time.
So then we just defer on the lights until a little bit later.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Defer on the lights? Okay, alright, so we just have a motion to go on with the flooring. Okay, is there, anything else with the library?
One thing,
there-
I've been in contact with, Flint River Astronomy Club, and they've agreed to come up and put on the sky, watch the sky viewing for us in November. We're gonna bring some telescopes in. I'm trying to get an idea from them how many people they can accommodate, what they can bring. And they would set up a Friday night, and then the Saturday night is an alternate in case they got kind of, because they're close to doing, they're close enough to go back and forth.
Nice.
One thing I thought about doing it in the back of the Baptist church, in the field back there. Haven't had a chance to, I can't get hold of the preacher.
Okay.
Can I do it in your backyard?
Yeah, probably. You do the backyard, back to the fields.
I would think back in the field would be
Yeah.
better than
Oh,
behind the
yeah.
church, because of the street lights and things like that. You want us to plan on doing that?
Yeah, let me talk to Daddy, when is he gonna wanna do it?
17th or 17th or 18th of November.
Okay, yeah, I'll ask.
Okay?
Yeah, I'll ask.
You need a cell phone number. Wallace,
Oh,
I've got
need
it.
a cell phone number.
Oh, well, yeah, let me have your cell phone number. You got it?
I sure do.
Don't put it on the
Don't-
record.
don't read
talk
it out
out-
on the
yeah,
record.
Yeah,
I'll text it to you.
I don't think he would mind if you.
I do have something else for the library.
okay.
We do have a catalog system picked out. I would like to go ahead and move forward with that because we have a lot of books we need to start cataloging. That's a library and probably be happy to have something to go start going beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, I included that, that was a $500 cost, and that's $384 for the software, and I estimated a good barcode reader at the balance of $500. You can get them.
We just do that straight through.
Yeah, we
Just
don't need a
come,
vote for that.
come in
Okay,
and Floyd can do that.
okay, because that's the flooring and that are really kind of the next piece that need to
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
us
We
rolling.
can do that.
No, we don't have a dedicated budget necessarily for that, so if you guys wanna approve at least a spend,
Well-
not to exceed the amount perhaps.
So what we can do that, but since it's so close to the 500, I say we just go ahead and amend the budget when we do the rest of it, and we just put this in up under library.
Just wanna make sure council
Yeah,
good.
and as long as council's okay with that, of course, if y'all wanna,
I'm fine.
We can always increase the library budget
yeah.
later if we need
Yeah.
to, so.
Amend it, okay, because then we can roll all the other stuff in.
Yeah.
Do you, when are y'all gonna put the, food pantry back up over here?
The utilities still have not been marked that I've seen.
They marked in the wrong place.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
because I've been keeping an eye out.
Strange hieroglyphics
Oh, no.
under the palm tree, under the fir trees by the bathroom. And I had called 811 to get it, we spoke, Tom, remember?
Yeah.
They were supposed to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the utilities approved it. And then AT&T marked this place out here. I didn't, I was told that you were gonna put it someplace else after all, so I didn't go any further with.
I'm talking to Tony Brown, and, Tony's wife is the only person putting food in it. They got tired of one individual taking all the food. So he told me, he said, if you use it for a book kiosk, use it for a book kiosk.
We gotta get rid of the food pantry though, we don't want person more people than just him over there as well.
Well, Tony, I think, was one of the ones driving that in the first place. He's ready to wash his hands. They're done.
Well, see, I see my parents were putting food in there, we had 2 churches that were putting food in there. So, I mean,
Well, we can stick it back down there. I got no dog in the hunt. We can stick it back where we originally planned to stick it, down by the flagpole.
yeah, we're not
We
like
can do that,
Yeah, that's what I was
if
thinking.
that's what y'all want.
I mean, I hate to get rid of it, when if we have people that need it and use it.
I still maintain anybody that needs it can get an EBT card.
Maybe they can, unless they don't have the right ID or whatever. I mean, there's any number of reasons someone that would go get an EBT card.
I'd rather do that than buy hot food. Buy hot cans, get hot cans.
You get hot cans on the right, you left it there, you got hot cans in there.
If we get 811 to market, let's market and stick it up. If we ever decide we're gonna put it somewhere else, we can.
I thought it would be best on the road, a little down further from the book, the free library. Just a little down further from it, like there's some trees out there, like right in front of the trees, but, because then otherwise they'd have to come into the front of the town hall and, I don't know, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we can look around and find some spots and see about getting it back up. All right, next item is our GFL proposal. Floyd, I'm gonna let you take that.
Okay, all right, and then I'm gonna also piggyback off of Brad, who's also in discussion. But I'll give the total, the recap is that, of course, GFL came to us asking for a rate increase for the first time in over 10 years. There's been a series of discussions, back and forth, meetings with GFL, what have you. And where we are, and after having spoken to each of you individually, there seems to be a general agreement that for the remainder of the year, the rates go from $11 per can per month to $16. And then at the beginning of next year, that rate will increase again to $22. Each of you individually agreed, and that's why it was brought forward, and I will turn over to Brad to see if he has anything he wants to add to this.
Yeah, we, of course, as you know, been going back and forth with GFL, so our recommendation is, at this point, for the $16 for the remainder of the year, to work in your budget, if you want to put it in there in the budget for 22-25, but not to, at this point, consider revising the contract to eliminate, 50% of the CPI. So that's the recommendation.
If that is what council chooses to do, then for the remainder of the year at $16, it would put us over budget. And so I'd also request that we amend the line item for residential garbage services by an additional $1,500 in order to meet that extra expense.
How long does contract be for?
Well, our position is contract's good for another 4 years, or another 3.5.
3.5, yeah.
Well, almost 3 years, it'll be 3 years in June.
So Floyd, do you need a motion approving the change to 16?
I need it to go to 16 and to approve the additional $1,500 to be the expense.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Stan has the first, and then Tom has the second. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Okay, oh, good job, guys. All right, so that concluding the new business and the old business, we're now in the public comment section of the meeting. So I will, yes, April, go ahead.
I was leaning up to bring y'all papers.
Oh, okay, okay, we're not done with the old business yet, but go ahead.
No, it is public comment section.
Oh, okay. So do you have a public comment?
Yeah.
Do you want, oh, okay.
So the DDA wrote y'all a letter this morning. Look, this is not the meeting to ask for money, because everybody apparently has been doing that. This has been a costly meeting, but, I'm gonna read it so everybody can hear, it'll be on the record. Esteemed council, the Downtown Development Authority of the Town of Sharpsburg would like to request $5,000 to fund the establishment of the first annual Sharpsburg Christmas Market on Main. These funds will be used for initial costs, marketing expenses, as well as decorating the downtown area for the holiday season. Unanimously voted in favor and taking place this upcoming 2023 winter, the Christmas market on Main will be our primary fundraiser, with supplemental smaller events held throughout the year to raise funds. Our goal for the Christmas market is to gather a variety of new vendors for shopping and food, activities for families, and music to warmly usher our new local holiday event, sewn together with love and tradition. In addition, we would also like to request $8,000 annually for calendar year 2024 and 2025. Our goal is to create a stream of generated income that will support our downtown development authority. However, these first few years will be crucial to our growth, and we need your assistance. I've kind of reached out to some of the other DDAs in the area, and they, Sonoya gives theirs like $5,000 every year, and Noonan, he didn't know the number, but obviously they're very interconnected. The goal is for us to eventually stand on our own 2 feet financially. That's not really an initial possibility at the moment. We are gonna do outside fundraising as well, but we have come to y'all first. We had our second meeting this morning, it went great. Everybody was really thrilled about the idea of the Christmas market, because there's not another one that any of us could think of in Coweta County. Everybody does fall festivals, everybody does, you know, Sonoya has their car show, and they do a candlelight of homes tour, but it's not necessarily what, and we want this to be a southern take on a European Christmas market. So think ornaments for sale. We probably would, we haven't got everything tied up, because at our next meeting, we're gonna start working on a committee to work on this. But we've gotta figure out our budget first and what we can do. But the idea would be more than just for things to buy and people to eat. We want there to be activities that people can do as families to create memories, and we think that, and one of the things that's gonna come up whenever we pick out a date, we wanted to work with Floyd on picking out a date, is we would wanna close down and use Main Street to do this. I don't know if y'all also know or have seen on Facebook, we have a brand new tenant that's moving into 98 Main Street, and it is, and so several of us have reached out to her, and in support of it being, you know, one of the first retail shops that has come to the area in a long time. We're hoping that this market will also spur some, you know, business for our other local business owners that'll here as well.
Did you finish your business license today?
She has inquired about her business license, has not yet been issued. About an hour before this meeting, she said that she had forwarded to Julie's email her state tax ID number, and we did have a conversation on some other side.
Because we've already got a business in that building.
They actually apparently have decided not to be in there.
Karen, Lassiter sent, I spoke to her on the phone this morning. The lady who opened the business license with us never came back to complete her paperwork with Karen. So we haven't heard from her. I reached out to her on Thursday, no response.
Didn't they pay for it though?
They paid an administrative fee for a business license because
They had no revenue to
Right, sure.
provide, but they did actually pay for it. They really did have it on the books, and then
But it's now,
Karen sent me an email saying that
okay.
there's nothing on file with them further than the initial contacts.
Excellent.